Hello, Fang Gang. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week. Today, we are continuing the life and suffering of Sir Brante. I am convinced now that it is pronounced Sir Brante, not Sir Brant. And I can't be convinced otherwise. Me? There we go. Okay. We, I believe, are in our first year of adolescence. We just graduated childhood. We don't want to restart. Nah. We have so far been God's strongest baby and toddler. Oh yeah, this was the end of the last time. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it's a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder. One day, it will never disappear. Mother is Lydia, formerly Brante. I don't know, it's up in the air if she's still married to Dad, because she's a commoner. And Gloria is our sister by way of mother, not father. Yeah. I need to throw those before I forget. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into. But Father keeps telling you to study hard, so you may yet earn a different lot and become a noble of the mantle. He says that, and I think we could have already been there if we kissed the sword with that willpower take. However, I'm betting on the long con here. I'm betting that there's going to be a better option that'll open up if we go rebel. We have strong rebel energy, because we are defying the gods and making our own goddamn destiny. You recall the past with warm sadness, when Stefan still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for a time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it beneath him to write to the commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. Stefan is our half-brother with Dad's first wife, who I think passed. He is at boarding school now. Mother, oh yeah, Nathan is our little brother, the youngest in the family. And grandfather killed us. He literally killed us. He bashed our skull in with his cane. But it's cool because you got was it 4 lives in this world? Because you can die 3 times before you get a final death. So we died at, what was it, the age of 4 or 5? Because grandfather just caved our skull in. He went full caveman on our ass for kicking him in the shins. Don't fuck with granddad. You learn the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him? Or is it the way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon you're a small boy no longer. As the days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now, your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. O-V-E-R. Hey, Gran. Hope you're having a good night. Yeah, we got our skull caved in. Let's see here. We also got fencing lessons with Dad. That was cool. So, okay, what's next? Personality. Your personal qualities that you have accumulated into childhood, they will convert into adult qualities at the end of Chapter 2, Adolescence. Ooh. Okay, so we need to up our perception gain. We only need a little bit more, one more point of determination, and then we can just kind of ignore that. But we really need to get our perception up, because we're pretty stupid. we're kind of stupid. Inner strength and the number of lesser deaths that you have experienced, these qualities will stay with you for your entire life. Willpower. This is our currency for doing badass action moments or something. We have 5. So we're out of the red, thank God. We took a strategic L, which got our sister Gloria flogged. But, you know, she took one for the team, okay? Totally worth it. And we died once. Yeah, so you can die... Wait, you can die 4 times? Oh, the 4th is your final, right. And you have 3 freebies. I mean, as free as a death can be. Okay. Continue into adolescence. I'm really excited. This game has been so cool. Kind of spoilering what's gonna happen, isn't it? We are 8 years old.
I was growing up fast. The school, the streets, and the whole wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
Okay. You got to adult, and your adult qualities are the sum of your earlier set's qualities. Okay. Yeah. We kind of power leveled our determination early on, so that's good. We only need 1 point, then we're in the upper bar for that. But we really need to get our perception up in adolescence. Which I guess means we're going to be a book nerd? Maybe? Chapter 2. We also had a really long stream last night. Probably not going to go that long tonight. You've lived in this world for 8 years now. As you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood was limited to your house and family, but now that realm is expanding. It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Anazote. A question now looms over you, growing more pressing with each passing year. What will your place be in this vast outside world? Hey, Atya, hope you're having a great night. No, this is it's kind of like kind of Long Live the Queen, kind of, but not really. It's really cool though. A few people in the blessed Arcanian Empire trouble themselves with this question. It's not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is predetermined by their birth and those who bore them. Except for us, because we're just built different. We caught that whip last night. It's fucking epic. Hey, Ace, it is going great. Hope you're having a good night too. And yet your peculiar birth has granted you a choice. Our birth was we smiled at the shadow in the room. and scared mom and dad the second we were born, because we're just built different. Gotta get that grind set. Yeah, I got you. And yet your peculiar birth. Yeah. Your father was a man of nobility, a worthy example in matters of duty and honor. Your mother is a commoner of lowly estate, humility and patience made flesh, except for she went through postpartum depression and almost killed her little brother as a baby. But except for that, she is the perfect model of humility and patience, yes. And your sky is ablaze day and night with the light of the shining pillar, the false gods, the beacon of the clergy. Your back bears the mark of the lash. Will you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn for your entire life? Or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father and fight for the right to serve the empire as a noble of the mantle? Now, fuck that. Fuck that. We already died for our country because Granddad caved our skull in. What more do they want from us? We already took one for the team. What's Team Arcanian ever done for us, huh? Perhaps you will follow the twin gods' false word and their offer of fake spiritual guidance to others. No, fuck that. The answer lies out there in the vast, terrifying world. What awaits you beyond the walls of your home? Ooh, okay. Events that can happen to the Brante family. Gloria's secret? Oh. You discover the secret society Gloria has joined. Ooh. Ooh, our sister. Okay. I think we might pick up what she's putting down. Stefan's disgraced. You find out your older brother is forbidden love. Skill issue. Wait, what's it? Ingenuity. Okay, so we got it. We got a new stat. Ingenuity. Okay, we got to get some ingenuity. Blood Tide. You joined the Blood Tide of the Brante family. Participate in the ritual. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Something to do with nobility, I'm guessing, because it requires that sacrament or approval of granddad. Interesting. Nathan's admonition. Your younger brother, Nathan Brante, receives a spiritual admonition from you. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good at all. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. Matters the heart. We get our... Ooh, we made a girl. That's cool. Revelation of the tree. An epiphany. So we can't do that because we didn't look at ants before. Unless we can look at ants as an adolescence. Well, it looks like a lot of these we can't get until we progress in this chapter because they involve new stats like ingenuity. And Sophia saved. You saved a local girl named Sophia from lesser death. Okay, so we're gonna need willpower for that one. Interesting. Good to know. Character! Personal qualities of this age. They determine which choices you may take. Nobility! Represent how noble your thoughts and deeds are in your pursuit of honorable ideals of the nobleman. It affects your chances of becoming a noble of the mantle and future skills that are crucial for the noble estate. Interesting. Ingenuity represents how quick-witted you are and how skillfully you can manipulate a situation to your own end. It affects your ability to survive without the privileges of nobility and future skills that are crucial for a commoner. Okay. Achievement, marry your sister. Spirituality. Hold on. Inventive. I mean, we're already dumb as a brick because our perception is low. We can't be both dumb as a brick and slow. We can't do that. Spirituality, your aspiration to unlock the mysteries of creation and explore the divine in the mortal world, the people around you, and yourself. It affects your ability to become a priest, and future skill is crucial for the clergy. Okay. Interesting. Personality, your inner strength, and stuff we have experienced. We already got that. And sections that open in this chapter. Relations, province, and map. Ooh, 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 ooh. We have no relations. Damn it. Map. Oh, we got a map. So we are here, Anazote. The city of your birth and the capital of the arid province of Magra. It is the largest, most ancient city in the south of the empire. Anazote is home to the Silver Tree, a sacred landmark grown by the twins when they descended to the mortal realm. The old prophecies say that Anazote is where the end of the world will begin. And Granddad's... No, Stefan is in Eterna because that's where Granddad took him for boarding school, but Granddad is back in Anazote with us still. Okay. Archnia, Magra, Ilaria, Monia. Okay. Before in this game, near the beginning, it made a delineation between humans and Archnians. So I guess Archnians are just built different or something? Interesting. And the province. Oh. Okay, interesting. Overseer, Archduke Melanidas. Supreme Lord. That's a nice title. We should take that. Known for being obstinate and despotic, notorious even amongst the Archnians. Okay, so not a good dude. Patriarch, Fotis, of the Magra province and founder of the New Faith. He was the first to find the lots established in the teachings of Isachius. He encouraged people to find the twin gods within and says that everyone's equal in the twins' eyes. Okay, so we like the sound of this guy, although he's still on Team Twins. Well, I'm on Team Fuck Them. And power. Balance of power in Magra and who rules. Ooh, we can go French Revolution with a reign of terror? Oh shit. Oh shit. Church. All of the old faith. I like the sound of that. Wealth of Magra. Ooh. We can really fuck up the world, can't we? Respect for the law and stability. Interesting. Alright. What's next? Continue. They look like humans with pale blue skin. Okay, interesting. What? What? Don't judge me. We can get some French Revolution on. It's all in good fun. The boy down the street. The family expects more and more of you as you grow up. The teachers and tutors hired by your father keep you on your toes all the time. Your life these days is dedicated to studying for your future, for the future of the Brante family. Which is fair enough, because we're dumb as shit. Your younger brother Nathan keeps growing up too. He can hold a conversation now. You never refuse him when he comes to play, provided you have a bit of free time between your demanding lessons. It is a rainy day today. Father and mother have gone to a ball, and they left Nathan in your care. You lose track of time over the books in the sitting room, and Nathan goes off alone to splash in the creek. Soon you hear his voice begging you to come outside. He is on the porch, sobbing, all covered in dirt. You walk up to him as he continues to bawl. It's all that kid! He pushed me into the ditch and called me names. He said I was a fancy pants fool. I said I'll call my brother. He's still there. You have to go punish him, Powerlines. Sounds kind of lame. I feel like this is encouraging him to be a wimp and a loser if we do his beatings for him. Nathan points at a lopsided wooden house further down the street where the poor artisans live. You see two boys lingering there on the porch. They're clearly both commoners, but far from poor. One of them is almost as tall as Nathan, and he frowns in a funny way, just like him. The other looks older, almost your age, but he is more broad-shouldered and taller. His name is Thomas. You've heard it before. There, Powerlines, that's him! Which one? There's two of them. Need to be more specific? Nathan points at the younger, okay, and hides behind your back. Thomas grins and rolls up his sleeves to reveal strong forearms. He must have been helping his father with manual labor for quite some time. Thomas Guerra. Listen up, rich boys. We don't give a damn about you or your friendship. We don't let nobody call our home a stinking rat hole. Your little brother earned his ditch dive. Nathan, did you do that? Hold on. Good old Tommy here, Tom. He got one eye, and the other guy going. Okay. Maybe next time we'll dress normal and stop picking fights with people who can throw him in the mud. I mean, fair enough. Did Nathan act a fool? Your hands clench in a fist before you react. Nathan called them names first. No wonder they did the same. That's how it goes. But pushing your brother into a ditch is too much. Thomas stands tall and confident. He sees no threat in you. You are about to get ready for a fight when you feel a tug on your sleeve. You turn your head to see Nathan, the one who started this whole mess. We lack... Oh, he's not grateful to us. Okay. I think he has something important to tell us, but we're a bit too busy, Nathan. Come at Thomas and give him a beating. Oh, nobility. Wait. So Thomas will respect us if we kick his ass. Okay, fair enough. Say your brother is to blame. Ingenuity. That'll also give us Tommy points. Resolve the matter peacefully. All of these give Tommy points. Oh. Okay. So this is just choosing which path we're starting out on. Ooh, we lack Nate points, which would have given us some unity and willpower. That's a lot of willpower, too, we missed out on. Shit. We only need 1 point with Nathan, probably. What is our relationship with Nathan? Where is he? Nathan! Family. Nathan? He's only +1, probably need a +2 or something. Peacefully. You do your best to reason with Thomas and avoid a fight. He did call them names first. You simply have to teach that jerk a lesson. I don't know. I could go for all 3 of these, honestly. Or really all 4 of these, but... Huh. Part of me feels like to initiate the French Revolution, we need to go spiritualist, right? We need like a mix of all 3 ideally, but... Huh. I don't wanna... He's guilty as shit. But we shouldn't say he's to blame. It should be Nathan who's admitting himself that he's to blame. We shouldn't be doing it for him. So that's setting the wrong precedent. Resolve the matter peacefully. I'm gonna say resolve the matter peacefully. This quarrel has been resolved peacefully. You turn to Thomas and offer to solve the problem like adults. His brother will apologize to Nathan, and Nathan will apologize to him in return. There is no need to fight anymore, and you will give Nathan a piece of your mind when you get home. You and Thomas are all grown up, act your age, you say. Ah, fuck. Ingenuity of secret society points? Fuck. Okay, we still have time to get that. The blood rushes to Thomas's face when he hears this. Act your age? Are you calling me a baby? You better shut your trap. Now I'm calling you a baby. That's all he says before he attacks. You barely dodge a fist flying at your face. You start trading blows, huffing and puffing with rage. The younger brother is gawking awe at the sight. Thomas does not resort to any fancy moves, dirty tricks, or stupid taunts. He displays nothing but skill earned in many a street fight, and his heavy fist aimed for your head. You keep dodging him again and again, trying to reach him. He takes a couple of glancing blows, but easily shakes them off. What a bruiser. You start swinging your fists, your firsts. We swing our firsts with greater and greater fury. Your heart is pounding like a hammer. You see nothing but the foe in front of you. How much longer will this take? You're worn out, your breath grows ragged, and your muscles grow heavy. But there is no way you can give up now. Nathan is watching. Desperate and out of options, you swing and punch Thomas square in the nose. Then immediately, let his fist smack you in the temple. The blow rings through your head like a bell and blinds you for the moment. The world swims... fuck my tinnitus. The world swims before your eyes. You clutch at your head and get your bearings. Thomas is standing in front of you, blood dripping from his nose. You no longer want to fight it out. It seems your opponent would rather end it too. But you keep standing there, eyeing each other angrily. Then suddenly, you hear an angry shout right next to you. An enraged man in craftsman's apron is shaking his fist. Thomas's face contorts in terror right away. It's my father! Run! Cheese it! Scamper! The punishment for fighting is flogging, and the mere prospect of that makes you run like the wind. Thomas sprints in front of you. You dash across the rotten planks of the back alley, up and over a lopsided fence, across a giant puddle in one leap, and then forward into the tall grass. You hide there and stay quiet. You hear no sounds of pursuit. You exchange glances with Thomas and start laughing. His laughter is loud and infectious. But soon, he cuts it short and grows sadder. I'm gonna get flogged anyways. My dad's always quick to give me a beating. And then he'll start nagging me about the lots and the prayers for days like he always does. Why do I always get myself mixed up in this stuff? But fine's the only way to prove you're worth anything, right? Nah. The adults didn't see you fighting, you tell him, so all you have to do now is convince them you weren't. Nosebleeds happen, right? Mother gets nosebleeds all the time. Something might be wrong with Mom. I mean, nosebleeds aren't uncommon, but something might be wrong with Mom. Well, we could try it. Let's hope our little brothers don't tell on us. I'll talk to mine. There's a scratch on your head. Don't let them see it. Don't think I didn't hit you in the face. There, good as new. Thanks, Tommy. You assure him that Nathan will never tell, and in return, you'll make sure he behaves himself so he won't get tossed into a ditch again. With that, you shake hands with Thomas. His handshake is as strong as you would expect, based on his fists. You make your way out of the tall grass. You need to leave where Thomas's father, Thomas's father, goes into your family and complains about you breaking your lot. You come to realization on the way back. You had no idea the place where you were hiding even existed. It wasn't too far from home. Thomas smiles in excitement when he hears this. Oh, I know lots of places like that. I'll tell you what, if we get out of this mess today, I'll show you the way to the old fortress wall. It's a perfect place to build your own fort. I dragged a bunch of wooden planks here. Too bad it's no fun to build all alone. My brother never helps. He just gets in the way. Oh, fuck yeah, we're building forts. You emerge from the muddy back alleys, united by a secret only the two of you know. Seems you made a friend today. An indifferent friend, but a friend nonetheless. We're gonna build forts, and it'll be awesome. No little brothers allowed. We are mundane, but spare none. So, looks like 4 to 5 is gonna be the break point for the major decisions later on. Okay. You have made a friend, a boy named Thomas. We are now 9 years old. Loud birds. It is blistering hot today, even for the sun-parched land of Magra. As soon as you're done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of the stuffy room. You and Thomas roll up your shirt sleeves, but it barely helps. You would gladly go shirtless had you only been in the company of other boys. But there are 3 girls in the yard today. They're doing the laundry in a big washtub, whispering and giggling. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. She has big eyes of deep blue. Her dark hair is braided, and her plain gray dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of the sun are reflected in her eyes. You, Thomas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories. Anything to make her laugh. You sure love telling tall tales, Paralines. I remember this one time. But then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street smiling, her light steps carrying her forward. But her eyes are looking elsewhere. But then a stone in the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat into the dust. The streets are shaking from the thundering hooves. Riders appear on the road from around the corner. They bear a coat of arms you recognize right away. A sable servant. I think that means silver. Blade upon a field of vert. I think that's green. It symbolizes the Melanitis dynasty, the family of your province's archduke. The horses dash forward. A lost wooden toy on the road cracks under their hooves. They will not slow down. They are nobles, and the rest must make way for them. Sophia is in their way, just now starting to get back on her feet. Her mother is crying for her desperately from behind the fenced door. You freeze in terror. The riders surely see the girl. Are they going to stop, or are they going to trample her? In only a few moments, the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled, and crushed. Sable is black. Okay, yeah. Shield Sophie. You rush into the road, blinded by hope, determined to stop the riders, and I think we're gonna die. I think we're gonna die if we do this. Yeah, we're gonna die. We're gonna die again. We're gonna die 2 times before we're even 10 years old, man. Oh, that will give us +1 in all of the stats, though. That's huge. Or we can just watch Sophie die. I don't know, that +1 is pretty big. For all of them? That's a freebie. Alright. Boys, we're going in! But we're not doing this for Sophie, we're going this so we can die, because it'll be really funny. Like, Granddad's gonna come home and he's gonna find out we died again. We're just doomed to die before we're 10 years old. You throw yourself blindly into the road, swinging your arms wildly, dazed by the sound of thundering hooves. You can see nothing in the dust. For a brief moment, the horses slow down, just long enough for Sophia to get back on her feet and flee to the roadside. But then the riders dig their spurs in. Square up, horsey! Dozens of hooves knock you off your feet and roll. What? We didn't get pulverized, we got spontaneously combusted. What the fuck? Are those fucking Ghost Riders? What the hell? Dozens of hooves knock you off your feet and roll across your body. Your bones crack, break, and crumble. Your ears are ripped apart by the thundering rhythm of the ride. Your innards are pulverized. The last thing you remember is the sound of your own skull caving in for the second time in our lives. Hey, it's me, your boy. Dead again. Impenetrable darkness surrounds you. You stand alone, bare to your very essence. It paralyzes you. You have an urge to cover yourself, to hide. No one should see you so vulnerable. But you cannot conceal the truth in this place. You are bathed in an unbearably bright light. Oh no, it's UV. Yeah, why did they use white phosphorus on us? What the fuck? It has no hint of warmth in it. It is blinding. It leaves no shadows in the entire world. It is the light of the shining pillar itself, the false gods. In this radiance, you can clearly see all your thoughts and doubts, your errors and transgressions, the contradictions that have permeated you since birth. They cover you from head to toe like rough gray tatters, but they melt away in this light. You are naked. You feel liberated and whole. It is as though all the wounds and cracks in your soul have been healed, making it the way it should be. It is as though the scales have fallen from your eyes. You see the true shapes of things now. These are the laws by which the world abides, the grand design that moves life itself. You tread a path that is barely visible in the blinding light, giving shape to everything. In this light, you see the infinite complexity of the world, from the tiniest leaf to the enormity of the empire. And this world maintains its balance by virtue of the law that was embedded into it during the act of creation. Ahead of you, two figures are waiting on the path. They are gigantic, many times taller than a man. The elder holds a lash, the younger a sword. The younger gazes at you sternly, coldly, you know, obediently. Fuck that, we don't kneel obediently. You kneel obediently before him and lower your head. The god raises his sword above you. This is divine retribution. There is no law without it, nor can there be. Every action has consequences. This is what shapes the world, making its very existence possible. In this moment, beneath the gaze of the merciless god, you comprehend the law that binds the entire world together. Which manifestation of the law? Which manifestation of the law in will you live by? The law in? Why is that in there? I'm confused. Empire. Is this not the ultimate manifestation of the law? The great and incredibly sophisticated mode of existence of all people? Lot. Your destiny is your own manifestation of the divine law. Fuck that. Family. It is the law that has been with you since the day you were born. Your family is a model of the world, a tiny universe, and it belongs to you just as you belong in it. Cause. Your life's work shapes the world, and thus you influence the great law itself. Yourself, you are Judge Dredd. You are an embodiment of the law. You have been made in accordance with the divine design. Against the law. You defy the design of the gods' law, bind it together. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. The blade flashes. Fuck all yous. Fuck all yous. The younger sword slashes the air above your head. You do not yet deserve your final punishment. The law demands that you continue your life. Your form has not been completely destroyed, nor has that of the world. I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing the long con, boys. The younger extends his gigantic hand and shows you the way. You must proceed. The path leads you to the top of the crown of the silver tree, spread wide in the white gleam. The branches are close now. It is time to descend. You are drawn downward into darkness. The shadows that had disappeared in the blinding glow creep around you and envelop you. This is to be expected, but the purity and clarity of the spirit are still with you. Something is forcing your throat open. Air. It scratches you on the inside. Your soul is filled with struggle again, with the contradictions from which the fabric of this world and you yourself are woven. The divine light that gave you clarity is fading away with the passing moment. You have to open your eyes. Above you is the dark ceiling of the family crypt, which is basically our second bedroom at this point. Yeah, seriously, down with the gods. Long live the shadow. Dude, we smiled at the shadow and the shadow smiled back when we were born. We gotta respect that. The gods have allowed us to live another day and we're going to make it their problem. Then you can feel again. You sense your body, head, arms, and legs. The light fades around you, obedient before a will that is stronger than you. You return to the world. Such is the law of the twins. You will return to the world until the time of your true death. And in this world, you will have a body with which to feel pain and suffering and pleasure. You smell a sickly, moist odor. You open your eyes and see the figures of mother and father in the gloom of the family crypt, speaking to each other quietly. They're thinking about just why their son is so fucked up that he dies twice before he's even 10 years old. Mother runs to you and locks once. Mother runs to you. Mother runs to you and locks you in an embrace as father wraps you in his cloak. Neither of them says a word as they lead you out to the surface and back home. I feel like at this point, our parents should just keep us locked in, like, under house arrest to stop us from dying. Because we take every chance we can to die. Yeah, seriously, the gods should have killed us when they had a chance. It's Dad! It's Robbie. Good old Bobby. Bobby Brante. You've met a terrible end, my son. You were trampled by those horses. Don't be so careless ever again. The lives you were granted by the twin gods are not to be wasted so recklessly. You would be punished for this, but the twins have already meted out their punishment. What are you gonna do? Kill me again? Can you imagine how jaded and uncaring a kid who's already died twice before 10 years old would be? Just zero fucks given day in, day out. You tremble, your steps unsteady as you learn how to move again. Your body is eerily smooth, fresh and renewed. Even the recent scars and scratches are all gone. But there is something new on it. A fresh black mark, a reminder of your lesser death beneath those hooves. Remember that. By the twins' mercy, we're all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you'll be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is true and final for all. Every loss of a life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods told us not to mourn a lesser death, and so we will humbly accept this and move on. See, your body has been reborn anew, with all your wounds healed. I have the impression that the end goal of us destroying the gods and their twins and shit is that no one's gonna get the freebies anymore. Everyone's only gonna have the one death from now on. Do not mourn the loss of life, my son, but thank the twin gods for their justice. Now, fuck him. Do not speak of this, and do not ever play by the road again if you wish to keep on living. You're not my supervisor. You got fired when I was like 2 years old. You cautiously go back outside the next day. Children from the neighborhood surround you. They all saw you get trampled, and now they all ask you the same question. What was it like to die? They could have asked us that already. We already died once, because Granddad caved our skull in because we kicked him in the shin. Thomas rescues you from their pestering. He pushes the motley crew aside, hugs you, and pats you on the back. Look at you, buddy. You have an entire life to keep a girl safe. When you say it like that, it sounds like we were simping. Then you see Sophia. She is standing nearby, shyly working up the courage to walk over to you. Soon she finally approaches you and begins speaking rapidly. Power Alliance, why did you throw yourself from those horses? Because it was funny. And I got a lot of stats from it. My life isn't worth any more than yours, so why'd you think that? You weren't supposed to die there. It was all those riders' fault. They deserve to die, not you. Whoa. I mean, yeah, true, but whoa. Only like a FromSoft game, the rules will be understood. It's called being a gentleman. Her voice rises to a shriek. She suddenly stops and runs back home. You stayed there. We saved her life and she's only indifferent. Come on. What does a guy gotta do around here? How many times do we have to die for Sophia to care about us? You stay where you are, watching her run, the golden rays of the sun dancing in her braided hair. How many times do we gotta die before the girl notices us? Hey. Yeah, that was totally worth it. That was totally worth it. We're in the negative, but that's fine. We technically still have another 5 willpower that we can go down, but we're gonna have to get some willpower back. We'll get back into the black. Sophia saved! Honestly, I can't even say we took that for the team, because that was all in our benefit. We're smitten. We're 10 years old. We are officially a tween. Fall, soil, and gunpowder. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Sophia disappeared after a terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossip that her parents sent her off to serve in a rich noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day, but you still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining in them. But no matter what, life goes on. You are 10 years old now. Your studies continue, and you're learning more about the land you live in. Anazote is an ancient city in an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra was turned to ash aeons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Char Melanatus. Char, did he drop a colony? The magical arts are all gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. Since then, the entire province has lain barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure, with few precious plants taking root on their own. All fertile land in Magra is bought elsewhere and brought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra became skilled in many trades, primarily mining and digging for metals and stone. Last fall, there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. It makes it easier for them to reach precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. I'm sure it also costs them a few lives, doesn't it? Then one day, a thunderous explosion rocks the city, and black, billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody is watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those hot verbal vapors just like Nathan. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out into the streets to meet their friends. Thomas is eager to share everything he knows about this incident with you. What's up, Tommy? They took lots of burnt up people to the city temple. Mom told me she was helping the healers. What the fuck happened? Did the magazine go off? There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from its slumber, while others say it's the surviving witches that continue to threaten the order and the empire with their accursed powers. But as for you, you patiently wait for Father to come back home, and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working at the prefecture, where Mother spends all her time in prayer. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home, and he's almost completely spent. He mustered enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. Father raises his head, his face a bleak, wary mask, and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. It's the mine outside the city. They're trying to get to a vein of ore. There was an explosion, the mine caved in, and black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. It was all because Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted them to start mining that vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. The prefecture has been inundated with complaints from families that have lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Count El Velasco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The prefecture and the newspaper just repeat whatever he says. There's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid for with the commoner lives? Because we have no agriculture. Specifically because of that. Then, without warning, he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? Not ours. We're built different. A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. Or worse, you remain where you fell, dead, never to be reborn again. Ever. Oh. Well, thank God for affluence, huh? Don't we actually want this? No, we don't want lawlessness. We just want the French Revolution. That's a different step. During lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother Stefan will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather fuck. Yeah, our character has no concept of death. We have zero fucks to give about it. Magra is the name of the province that our town is in. With Granddad, as well as a noble friend of the family. You are excited about your brother's return. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? You and Father await the guests anxiously. The doorbell rings. 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather is the first to come in, naturally. He has not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. He's still dwarfish. He's still dwarfish, though. Our man's got some odd proportions here. Stefan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You have heard a lot about this man from father and grandfather. He is Baron Agostino Borne, Stefan's uncle and family friend and the province's prefect, which means that he is the head judge and thus father's superior. Sir El Borne smiles lightly and offers you his hand. And this must be your younger son Powerlines, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man. Is he getting sweet on us? I'm getting Stranger Danger vibes. Father bows slightly to grandfather and Sir El Borne, and there is a moment of quiet when Stefan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There is a question in Stefan's eyes as he looks at grandfather, The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. We noblemen oughtn't put our emotions on public display, father. Not even after a lengthy separation. There is no embrace. Instead, Stefan nods to father curtly. He responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After the greeting, you proceed to the sitting room. Oborne is the first to enter. He kisses mother's hand, and Gloria's too, and tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod. Greetings, Lydia Brante. I remember you were kind to me when I was but a child, and you must be Nathan. You could barely walk when I saw you last. He's Stefan's other grandfather. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely. Not even a greeting. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension at the table. Oborne is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. The dinner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. I almost said palate. A truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know Stefan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. You cast a glance at grandfather. He looks like he is about to choke on those words. It would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals. Please, Gregor, parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love, I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stefan. But there was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? Okay, I'm liking Oborne. Oborne is kind of a G. And besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps. And who knows, perhaps even the younger men of the Brante family will contribute to the... Uh-oh. You clumsy, low-born cretin! Oh boy. Everybody is startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He is glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stefan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket. Oh boy. It's water. A pitcher? It's just water, right? Begone this instant! The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a moment, Oborne smiles again. It appears the servants have left us, yet dinner is far from over. Worry not, uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink. Stefan, you suck. Stefan glares at Gloria across the table. She is sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stefan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts far too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the Brante gentleman so wish it. Your hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It is all grandfather's doing. Stefan could not even bring himself to embrace father without his permission. And yet they are noblemen, and they have the right to act this way. If there's any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you do not want to see it. Ingenuity? I don't like Stefan, but I don't really want to go bad blood, but we do need Gloria points for the secret society. Make small talk. You try to act like nothing happened. That gave us nobility, which is neat, I guess. Join Gloria. Oh. Willpower. Oh, that's an easy take. Willpower, we need that +10. We rise from the table and help our sister wait on the family. Yo, fuck that. Fuck our ego, we need willpower. You deliberate for a moment, then take the napkin off your lap and rise to join Gloria. A moment later, you hear the sound of another chair moving. Your mother joins you. Three of you now refill glasses, serve food, and clear away dirty dishes. So, Borne tries to make small talk with father, but in vain, so he focuses his attention on grandfather and Stefan. Grandfather is pleased to inform him of Stefan's achievements at the boarding school, especially his exemplary sword fighting skills. He constantly stresses the importance of your older brother for the future of the family. You listen to him dispassionately as he continues serving new dishes to the table. As you wait at the nobleman's table, you, your sister, and mother never bump into each other. Your labor is impeccable. Grandfather could not have found fault with it, even if he tried. Your shoulders and back are aching, but being a manservant inside your own house hurts even more. When the guests finally leave, Mother and Gloria embrace you with relief. You do not neglect your relatives and share their humiliation. And the composure that you have shown gave you new strength. All right, we got Gloria points and we got willpower. Willpower is more important, honestly. Yeah, we got +10. Okay, we got a good amount of willpower in the bank. We're full of God's power again. We are primed and ready to make our life someone else's problem again. Uh-oh. Call the police. Drop tanky. A hot, dry wind sweeps through the city and from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Anazote prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You are on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Thomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable now. We are full of power. Also, we got our BFF. The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the part of Anazote where the nobles live. So here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on the ancient brickwork by the old fountain in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Thomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in a workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or become a manservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer until we can initiate the revolution. But Thomas waves your words away. Yeah, I know all that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble. Our strength is patience and persistence. So yeah, I say, but I want to make my fortune no matter what. So ain't that living by my lot, I ask you. I like his gumption. But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you, for example, Brante. Your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at her hands. Never had to work as hard as me, but we have the same lot, so we're supposed to suffer the same. Look at your father. He's a judge. He toils at the prefecture day and night doing his judging. And he's a noble? I've never seen an Arcanian work as hard as he does. That's because her dad's based, even if he doesn't have a spine. You shrug. The Arcanians are a different race. The books say they're born to rule over humans. They're never commoners, always nobles of the sword by birth. They founded the empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arcanians are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. The books are believed, of course. You've never seen one yourself. Arcanians get the guillotine first. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rabble like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hooves and wheels against the cobblestones and see flags bearing a coat of arms. A sable serpent on a field of vert. It makes you squirm. This Archduke's coat of arms, the Milenatus dynasty. The carriage door opens, revealing a young lady in luxurious dress. Uh-oh. You cannot look away from her. those dainty shoulders, suggested but not revealed by the cut of her dress. Her black hair cascading over them, her stately, slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose. The way she moves, fluid, gracefully, and most incredibly of all, her skin glows in azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is an Arcnean. Are Lady Arcneans also soldiers of the sword or whatever? How does that work? Clear the way for me. The Milanitis guardsmen work quickly to clear the way to the fountain for the Arcnean lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion, she reveals a hanky, then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Wild bee. Okay, Huck. That's Octavia Milanatis, our Archduke's own daughter. The Arcnean turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall onto the cobblestones right next to you. Her hanky. It's right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabric, delicately decorated with, sometimes these put these hard to say words next to each other, with emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw the beautiful Arcnean's attention in order to return her lost possession? Or would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm between you and her? Steal, or give back. Let's see, this matters of heart. Only costs 5. Interesting. Octavia Milanatis remembers you. Interesting. Huh. Stash the trophy, planning to sell it later like a G. Huh. We get bro points and willpower up. We can use more willpower. Or you keep it as a... Ooh, double willpower. Well, I don't know. This is a tough choice. It's between getting noble points or getting bro points. I mean, the plus 10 is nice, but I feel like we want to get some bro points because I feel like Tommy is going to be important later. But maybe we'll need her to kick off the revolution later. I don't know. Wait, it says matters of the heart, so that means we'll probably be in love with her. But she's an Arcnean, and Arcneans get the guillotine, so we're gonna get bro points. It's ours. It was a gift. If she didn't want us to take it, she would have dropped the hanky. Octavia finishes her graceful return to the carriage. It takes off, and the carriage disappears from the square. Then you look at Thomas and show him the handkerchief you were holding. It's time to show him how to start earning that fortune. Yeah, I think getting her would be I think going with her would be the way to go if we were actually caring about becoming a noble ourselves rather than tearing it all down. Yeah, come on, bro. It's time to start earning that fortune. Your eye is singled out a traveling peddler in the crowd. When you finally get his attention, you pull the splendid hanky from your pockets. The peddler smirks knowingly. Finders keepers. And the noble who lost it certainly won't be weeping over it. Truth be told, it is a truly exquisite hanky. It still looks quite presentable and will fetch a fair price. After some haggling with the stingy peddler, you trade it for a small fortune, 4 coins. Half of this sum you give to Tommy. This is all your handiwork, Powerlines. Bro, it's yours. Come on, bro. You just grin at him. You can find the next hanky. Thomas laughs and you head off to the fruit stall together. Yeah, we got Tommy points. Plus, more willpower. That was a win-win. Easy win-win. It's really loading us up on willpower. I'm getting worried. I feel like we're going to have to burn through a lot of willpower real fast sooner or later. The quorum. Quorum. The quorum decree. 12 years old now. You overhear an important conversation while I take a sip of tea. It is a spring night, and Mother has just sent everyone to bed. You walk past Father's study and hear voices coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling, and Father is replying quietly. The elder Brante men are fighting, arguing about the place of commoners in the city. You sneak outside to avoid Mother's attention and hide next to the open window of the study. Perhaps they'll mention you, too. What, is Granddad gonna say you could care for Skolin again? That low-life idiot had the gall to pay me a visit and beg me for some service. He had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim for the chairman's seat in lesser quorum. How dare he? Father, please listen. Mayor Egmont may be lowborn, but he carries a lot of clout in Magra. He owns 5 iron mines. A friend like him could be quite useful should he become the chairman of lesser quorum. I don't give a damn who this Egmont is, Robert. Whoever he is. What he is, however, is lowborn. His lot is humility and obedience. The likes of him can never rule anything. They're nothing but a flock of sheep that need a firm, noble hand to guide them. God, Grandfather is just the worst. I wasted so many years trying to quash that quorum decree, but that accursed Cornelius Tempest did everything in his power to make the Emperor sign that pathetic screed. And now even lowlifes can wield power. True power, Robert. Just the right to discuss the size of the Archduke's tax, nothing more. That is only the beginning! What's next? The guillotine. Are they going to arm the lowlifes now? Make them into judges? If the Empire rejects the foundations and the lots, the entire edifice will crumble. That's the point. Who am I telling this to? It's already crumbling, and you, my son and heir, are the harbinger of its destruction. Gregor is so mad he's stuttering. Father, I'm begging you. I don't wish to marry a 3rd time. Lady is a good wife and a dutiful mother to my children. If you'd only allow her to. I will allow them nothing. Neither Egmont nor that freeloading wench of yours. What will you want me to do next? Live by the laws of the lowborn? I can already see where this is going. I'd rather run my own sword through my gut than live in a country where nobles and lowlifes share the same rights. That can be arranged. Yeah, the merchant class tipped the scales. Yeah. My only dream is to see the name of Brante in the blue book. That dream will never come true. They'll never call me Venerable L. Brante. It's because of this marriage of yours. Oh my god. Maybe you should stop projecting your own skill issue, bro. Yeah, it seems like the way to cause final death is by, like, spawn camping, basically. Where they die in a way where they don't get the chance to safely come back, like respawn, it sounds like. Because like, they died in a mine collapse or something. My only hope now is to hear Stefan addressed in such a manner one day. Thank the twins I didn't let you ruin that boy. He's about to grow up a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of El Brante. You have 2 more grandsons. Thanks, Dad. Those spineless milksops from the... Brother, we kicked your shin and died for it. We caught the whip. What do you mean, spineless? Have you seen how powerful we are? Those spineless milksops from the common lot, they're incapable of anything. The best your middle son could do is sneak into the Imperial College and get ennobled by the mantle. Although I have grave doubts about even that. As for the downtrodden Nathan, I hold no hope for him whatsoever. Man, this guy is rough. You hear Grandfather's heavy footsteps, the thudding of his cane, and the slamming of the door. It's time to sneak back home before you're discovered. Oh. Oh, oh. You start studying at the School of Sword Tibur, and begin to master the sciences. Science! Okay, I'm done with science. Why is this shiny? Oh, that's just her log. Got it. A storm of expectations. Finally, the day comes when the teachers stop coming to the house. But before you can breathe a sigh of relief and put away the books, Father asks you to come to his study. You've grown, my son. It's time for you to continue your education away from home. I've chosen a deserving school for you. Sortiber's School for the children of noblemen and well-off commoners. Naturally, it is not a boarding school for nobles, so you will study there during the day and come home in the evening. Okay. You share the news with your bestie. Sortiber's School, eh? Yeah, I gotta ask my parents to send me there too as soon as they get the coin together. Father says his workshop has toiled day and night for years to save up for my education. You can do it, Tommy. I believe in you. The school is based in an ancient estate of Archnean design. The classrooms are tall and spacious, with massive benches. The sounds of scraping quills and lectures on history and imperial law and theology echo under vaulted ceilings. The rules are strict, the lessons tiring. Restless Thomas keeps getting distracted, and several times he gets his hand slapped with a stick for it. Every teacher demands flawless mastery of their subject. Everyday Father asks you about your studies. You've already told him twice how Magra joined the Empire and how the Noble's Court of Honor is different from the commoner civil court in the city prefecture. But Father keeps pressuring you to work even harder. When it is time to go to bed, Mother will not let you go to sleep until you recite a newly learned prayer for her. Ma! Ma! And when it is time to go to school, you promise her every day that you will behave with great humility and steer clear of insolent behavior of any kind. For you still live by the commoner's lot, and that lot is hard work and suffering. Nah. Your first month in school draws to a close, and the teachers announce that there will be exams at the end of the first month. The best and the worst students. To determine the best and the worst students in each subject. Father insists that you devote all your spare time to studying law and history if you wish to follow in his footsteps. But when you speak to Mother every day, you start considering theology. You still remember the revelations and divine visions that came to you when we died. When we died! You have only one more day until the exam. You have locked yourself away in your room. It is already getting late. Your desk is covered with handwritten notes surrounded by leather-bound books. Just looking at them makes you queasy. But you have to read through all of them again, at least for one of your subjects. There is a nagging thought on your mind. Thomas ended up in big trouble the other day. He got in a fight with several boys who lived next street. They heard about your wooden fortress. They got outraged by the fortification built by commoners. They swore to dismantle it tonight. Thomas swore he would defend the fortress until the end. Perhaps you should abandon the books to rescue the friend in need. Ooh. But then you hear your little brother Nathan knocking on the door. He stands there shyly, not saying a word. He often does that, standing still and staying speechless until either you speak first or he runs away. But this time, he actually says something. The door is locked. Are you okay, Powerlines? Is there anything we can do to help? Bro, let's lock on the door. Your head is spinning. This is the last evening before the school exam. If you fail, your family will be very disappointed. You have to refresh your memory on law or theology, either one or the other. But Thomas and your four are about to be stormed. Why today of all days? You grind your teeth in rage at the thought. Nathan is by the door, trying not to bother you. He wants to help you the only way he can, for reasons known only to him. Huh. So, focus on law and history for nobility and dad points. Help Tommy for ingenuity. Another Tommy point. Study theology. Wait, hold on. Hold on. We already have 2. And we already have 1 in these. So if we study law and history, it will put nobility at 2, which is informing me that to pass we would need a total of 2 to pass the test, right? But we already have that with theology. So in theory, we're already good to go with theology. And I don't care about mom points. Fuck that. Spend a moment with Nathan. Ooh, Obar. Ooh. You put away everything except your brother's offer of help. Ooh. Plus 10? It's kind of hard to say no to that when, in theory, we're already good with theology. Yeah. I think specifically because we already have theology or spirituality at 2, where we don't have to worry about the test. I do want to help Tommy. But that willpower, man, that's a lot of willpower. You cannot help but pay attention to your brother's quiet, weak voice. He pushed the books away. Nathan runs to you and wraps his arms around your legs. They should just leave you alone. I don't want you to get sick. Warmth emanates from his hands. You feel the burden of the responsibilities thrust upon you fall from your shoulders. At last you realize something. You can make your own decisions rather than submitting to the will of others. Oh, hell yeah! What were we thinking, caring about that? You laugh at this realization and feel a new spring in your step. Nathan laughs with joy when he feels this. He takes your hand and pulls you outside. Oh yeah, man. You've studied enough. You spend the rest of the evening playing with your little brother, teaching him how to build a watchtower out of wooden plank sticks and old rags behind the house. Nathan's success in construction leaves much to be desired. Unlike his skill in covering himself in mud, still, he is absolutely overjoyed. Is our brother simple? Well, we're like 12 years old, and he's like around 8. I feel like he should be. Maybe I'm just projecting how good we were when we were his age. We can't. That's unfair to Nathan to judge him like that. He's an average kid. He's not built different like we were. The morning comes. You barely have time to wake up before you're walking to the menacing edifice of the school. The entire day is a constant flow of questions and demanding answers. You give satisfactory responses on law and history, although you are somewhat confused by many technicalities of chronological orders. Your knowledge of the interpretations of the lots leaves much to be desired. Your parents are dissatisfied by your performance. You know what you could have worked harder. It didn't count the theology? Still, you believe yesterday was not a waste. Alright, fair enough. I mean, okay, so that tells me that it didn't matter that we already had high points in theology. It was just which one mattered. Okay. But that was 10 willpower. That was a lot, man. We're almost maxed out. And that goes up to... So we can get 5 more willpower. Okay. I'll take that. Noble titles. Your education continues. As you study imperial law, you come to realize that there is a certain hierarchy even within the noble estate. It seems your father's status is not quite equal to that of more eminent human and Archnean gentry. You return with this new information at your disposal. Father asks you about school after dinner, as he always does. And what is the difference between nobles of the mantle and those of the sword power lines? You already have an answer ready. The latter status is hereditary, meaning that it's passed down from fathers to son. After the Archneans, nobles of the sword are the most eminent humans in the Empire. They own land and estates, they fill offices of the highest rank, and the names of their bloodlines are preserved within the Great Blue Book. Nobility of the sword can only be granted only by the overseer of the province or the emperor himself. And how are such eminent people addressed? With the honorific L before their last name to respond. Sir Augustine L. Borne, for example. Father pats you on the shoulder, clearly pleased despite our failing grade. And what about the Archneans and their status? What have you learned about them? That they drop stuff we can steal? The Archneans stand above all human gentry. They are born to rule over humans, regardless of their titles. No L is required when addressing them. They need no honorifics, for the names of their ancient dynasties are known to all, except for us. Father nods somberly. Yes, we can never be their equals. Do whatever an Archnean tells you, and never defy them, ever. And what about grandfather and me? Where do we stand as nobles? Where does I guess Granddad is a noble of the sword? I'm not sure. That is easy. Oh, they're both mantle. Okay. This title cannot be inherited, but it can be earned by any commoner as a reward for great service to the Empire and the Legion, or as a civil servant. Okay, so I was wondering about that at work when I was thinking about this game. I was wondering, like, it couldn't just be nobles in the military. There has to be, like, poor fucking infantry. So that makes sense. Father suddenly grows quiet and looks you in the eye intently. Yes, and someday you will earn a noble title too, son, all in due time. But what if we want to tear it all down? I mean, in theory, a noble title will help us do that. We just have to be careful not to get our head cut by a guillotine too. Sword Tiber School teaches children of all stripes. Nobles of the mantle and low-born parents can send their sons here. And every passing day, the children of noblemen invent new ways to snub and bully the commoners. Most of the time, the bully leading them is Diedrich, son of the secretary for the city hall and a self-important snob. Also slob. The sons of noblemen never pick on you, however. They know that your father has been ennobled by the mantle. However, Diedrich and his retinue soon choose Thomas as their favorite victim. Time and time again, you ask your friend not to pay them any mind, but again and again, Thomas grows angry and snaps at their self-satisfied mockery. He angry. It is early morning. The students are busy flocking to their next lesson. You wave Tommy over when you see him. He waves back at you, and then a bucket full of slop splashes on him. And needless to say, it is the work of Diedrich and his entourage. You hear his familiar creaky laughter. The tailor's son stinks! How dare you sit next to decent folk? Tommy clenches his fists. You're dead, Diedrich! He throws himself at Diedrich's haughty entourage like a soldier ready for war. He attacks them first. This is just what they expected, and they are free to retaliate. He barely makes one move before 4 pairs of hands grab him at once. Diedrich sneers and kicks your friend in the belly. Thomas gasps for air and starts coughing. You stand between them as Diedrich readies another kick. The nobleman's son cocks an eyebrow. Why do you mingle with commoners, he asks. Your father is noble of the mantle. You ought to be friends with your own kind. Your equals, not the dirt beneath your feet. Behind him, 4 boys hold Thomas down as he struggles furiously. The other students are watching you, frozen in fear. Diedrich Holly extends a hand to you. He clearly expects you to shake it. What will you do? Oh. Ooh. Relations? But we can't do that. Conditions. Oh, we could only do that if we don't have Tommy points. I see. It took me a moment to read that. Although that reputation hit. Although we don't really care about reputation, do we? Admonish the nobleman's son. The children of parents who have been ennobled by the mantle's lot still bear the commoner's lot. Also, we're going to burn it all down. Turn him over to the teachers. You stick the school authorities on Diedrich and his retinue. Or you challenge nobleman's son to single combat. Ooh. You know, I don't know. What's the break point again? I forget. 2. 2 is the break point. We need... I'm thinking ingenuity. Mostly just so we don't stay slow. I don't want to stay slow. That's embarrassing, okay? I do want to get theology so we can get the new religion of the shadow going. But I think for this, we're going to take the ingenuity option. Turn them over to the teachers. So we're not slow anymore. You fold your arms across your chest and declare that Diedrich and his followers will pay dearly for their insolence. Their parents may be nobles, but they are not yet nobles themselves. Here at school, we are all equals. Diedrich's entourage is about to swarm you too, but the teacher of Imperial Law comes in the room just in time. Everybody immediately returns to their seats. Once the lesson is over, you tell the teacher how Diedrich and his friends have been starting fights and picking on people. They are the children of nobles, yet not nobles themselves, which means they are guilty of defying their lot and encouraging other students to do the same. The law teacher furrows his brow when he hears this. He assembles all the students and admonishes them. Any student caught in defiance of his lot will no longer be welcome at the school. The twins are always watching us all, and the school will not suffer the presence of troublemakers who defy their will, unlike us, because we're just built different. The nobleman's sons reluctantly agree. There's no good reason to risk picking on lowborns when the punishment is so high. To say Diedrich is angry at you would be an understatement, but he can no longer hurt you or Tommy. The bullying stops. We protected our bro. We weren't there for the fort, but we got his back. Also, we're not stupid anymore. I mean, we're only half stupid because our perception is low, but it is what it is. Ooh, we are year 13. We're officially a tween teen. I forget what the cutoff is. Your theology teacher tells you more about Anizote. It is more than just the provincial capital. It is also a sacred place blessed by the gods. It is where the twin gods' first disciples spilled their blood, and from that blood grew the sacred silver tree. Its enormous foliage hangs over the city. You see its branches in the sky every day, but you have never approached the trunk of the tree yourself. Today, you will be taking your first step to the silver tree. Your class is visiting a service in the great temple by the tree's very roots. Thanks to your theology teacher, you and the other students will witness this landmark of the twins' advent up close. Everyone is excited. Soon you and the other boys enter the slums surrounding the church district of Anizote. The roots are pulsating under your feet. They spread underground all throughout the area. But it occurs to me that the reason that our province is so shitty and destitute and arid is probably because the tree is sapping up all the nutrients and causing the province to be arid. That's my theory right now. The people of the district bow humbly to you and point you towards the temple. They seem at peace despite the abject poverty in which they live. All who live directly beneath the tree are filled with its divine grace, your teacher says. People come here to make peace with the world and their fate in it. Your class is unusually quiet today. Everyone is listening to the rustling of the leaves and the underground beating of the roots. The sky above you is obscured by the tree's canopy. You find the temple of the twin gods right next to the tremendous trunk of the tree. It's almost a part of it. Yeah, I've been thinking Elden Ring as well. Although, I don't remember when Elden Ring launched, and I don't know when this game released. But yeah, it's a very big parallel. There's a crowd there. Pilgrims dressed in traveling clothes, paupers and beggars, common people of the city, and the occasional well-dressed noble. There. Or the great Deku Deku tree. Don't forget that one. There are arguments among some people who are gathered in small groups. Many people are wandering around, staring upwards at the tree's branches. The tree impresses you with its might and the calm. Are we sure it's calm? And the calm emanating from it has a low growl. You are filled with a desire to sit down and think of the world, to learn something about yourself, to touch the silver white bark and hearken to the whispering leaves. You are distracted enough to fall back from the rest of your classmates. You notice a small path. It should take you right next to the trunk. A tall, red-haired woman walks out of the crowd of pilgrims. She is wearing a worn white robe. She is no longer young, but her face is youthful and covered in freckles. Her hands clutch a book. You have never seen this lady pilgrim before, yet she looks at you almost as if she has recognized a lifelong friend. Friend? She beckons to you and says her name, Matilde, a preacher from Astinia. Hold on. Map. Astinia is... Oh. Astinia Where the fuck is Astinia? I don't see Astinia. Oh, there it is. We're here, so it's up here. The heart of the empire, Astinia is a province of bountiful harvest. This land is the main stronghold of the new faith, where commoners and nobles alike follow the new doctrine. This land is ruled by the old Archnean Diamant dynasty, but only Patriarch Junius Diamant, the Archduke's older brother and leader of the church in the province, wields actual authority in Astinia. Okay, interesting. The new faith sounds better, but tearing it all down and burninating the world with French Revolution sounds better. It is commendable to see a young man so keen to learn the teachings of the twins, she says. Yet you will never follow the light of truth within the walls of the temple. Inside you will find only the lies about the lots, the erring words of Prophet Esatius, sanctified by the passage of centuries. Yet anyone who sets out to read the account of the twins' own lives knows that they never so much as mentioned the lots. She's sounding pretty heretical. The ginger preacher words frighten you. They clash with everything you have heard from Mother, everything you have been taught at school. The lots are a lie. We already knew that. We've known that since the day we were born, man. You freeze in fear. Should you argue with Methode, or ask her for more information, or should you treat her as a madwoman and catch up with her classmates? Oh. You suddenly feel a small, warm hand grasp your own. You see a girl right next to you. She is just a little older than you, wearing a black dress, threadbare, yet almost spotless. Her hair is covered by a hanky with only a single golden lock showing. Her brown eyes are burning with rage, her hand pulling you away from the ginger preacher. Ingenuity. Burn the Erd tree. You stare in confusion at the strange young girl, her cheeks flushed by the sudden touch. There is a bit of color on her cheeks too, but then she starts speaking to you quickly. Jean! Don't listen to her. She's dangerous. Come to the temple with me. Only there where you see the truth. I heard girls named Jean get burned at the stake, honestly. You stand there, surrounded by the crowd of praying pilgrims and the sounds of the shuffling feet, torn between two people you have never seen before, and each of them expects you to follow her. But all the while, you hear the whisperings of the winds in the tree's branches. The branches reach out for you, almost as if the tree wishes to speak to you itself. Can you hear its voice? Aw, shit. Oh? Oh, we had to play with ants for that. We have to play with ants. Shit. Now I'm kind of bummed. I mean, I want to burn it all down, but I want to hear the tree talk. Talking trees are cool. I know Tolkien. Talking trees are cool. Follow the girl. Oh. For -5 willpower, which we have a lot, so that's fine. Stay away. Bad touch. Oh, no, that's stay with the ginger. +1 spirituality. That's not bad. Or leave them and approach the tree. Oh. Wait, is there a hard cap of 30 on willpower? Like, is this gonna waste 5 willpower if I take this? Because I'll cap out at 30? Because I want to do this. This seems like the best option here. To find your own path and forge your own destiny, because that's been our entire character theme here. But I'm gonna feel bad if we lose 5 willpower because we capped out. We will. Shit. God, I know this is the right decision. So, it's really a +5. I'm thinking willpower, even though I'm going to lose that 5, because this is the making our own destiny choice here. The tree, it knows more than any human. Oh, wait. Does it? Is it? Huh. I say fuck dumb hoes and approach the tree anyways. The tree is beautiful! The silver white foliage stretches and spreads towards the sky, held aloft by a trunk so thick it would be a challenge to walk around it. The leaves rustle and whisper peacefully in the wind. The tree, it seems to speak to you. Ignore your OCD. That was never an option, Ace. You walk away from the odd-looking preacher and the young acolyte, ignoring them as they call out to you. You walk around the temple and the crowd of people, getting closer to the tree with every step. Then you extend a shaking hand and touch the bark. It isn't usually warm. You can feel a pulse beneath the roots. The tree is alive. Okay, Treebeard. Cool off. The roots are so gigantic they form large grottos, spaces of air embraced by the roots in the ground. You squeeze into one of these grottos. It is usually bright and quiet, shielded from the noise of Anazote. Right now, there's only us in the tree. No girls allowed. We got a tree house, guys! No girls allowed. You sit down. There are leaves rustling all around you. The only noise you hear is the bleeding pulse of life that flows through the tree, and this pulse beats in time to their own heart. You feel clarity and calmness, free of doubt and frustration. The tree speaks to you, or are they your own thoughts, so strange and unfamiliar and eye-opening? These thoughts speak of soothing love, and of crystal clear law, and of love and law intertwining to bring the miracle of life to you. You stop slouching and your frown becomes a light smile. Hours pass like fleeting seconds. You lose track of time until you overhear someone shouting your name. Alas, it is time to leave this grotto. The sun is setting over Anazote now. The day was quick to pass. Your teacher frowns, ready to scold you. You mumble an explanation and say you were ready to be punished for disobedience. Yet instead, the teacher nods in understanding. You keep looking back at the tree all the way home. Whatever happened to you today, you find it difficult to put into words. We are prepared for anything! The shadow of the past. Another school day has ended. You are making your way home, still mulling over the things you learned from your teachers. The founding of the empire, the eternal unshakable rule of a single dynasty, the 3 estates, each with its own rights. What an odd sort of order the world has, and yet so mysterious. At least it sounds that way when your teachers talk about it. Mother is waiting for you on the porch. She smiles gently when she sees you, and yet her expression still shows great concern. Father left on a trip to several distant Magrin towns a few days ago. Since then, Mother has been trying to tell you something, but she seems uncertain. Oh. Son, could you put your things away and come pray with me? I guess. Alright, let's get it over with. You join Mother in a prayer to the false gods. She prays with fervent sincerity, her head bowed low, reciting the words of obedience to them and their greater Zion in a barely audible whisper. You repeat after her, phoning it in, just as she has taught you ever since you were a little boy. When the prayer ends, Mother sighs and turns to you. Fireline's my son. You are 13 now. You'll be grown soon. It's time you learned about certain things that are important to our family. Difficult things. It's about your father and me, about our marriage. You gaze curiously into Mother's eyes. Now, I'm sure you've wondered about this before. Your father was a nobleman of the mantle, so how could he marry a commoner with another man's child? But you see, Powerlines, your father, when his first wife, Amelia Alborne, died, it was a painful blow to him. He lost the will to live, lost all purpose. He felt like his own destiny was cut short that day as well. And then he met me. You know the troubles I had in the past. I went to the prefecture as a petitioner to ask them for help, protection, justice. Ace, you got it right. This is a Nathan request. She got the wrong kid. When I was a young girl, I worked at a small shop that sold crockery and dishes. A nobleman took a liking to me. May his name be forever forgotten. Twins know I was humble and honored his lot to rule, but he took me by force. Mother falls silent, summoning the courage to continue. Can we call Nathan in? Can we tag team this? Gloria is that nobleman's daughter, but he was outraged. How could I have the gall to burden him with a lowborn progeny? He turned me out on the street with the baby girl in my arms. Mother's voice is shaking now. You take her hand tenderly, pretending we are Nathan. We gotta channel Nathan energy. I had no home, no honor, nowhere to go, no one to protect me, or help me. When I went to the prefecture, I didn't really think the judges there would help me find justice against my former master. But when Sir Robert heard my plea, his eyes met mine. I believe that very moment, the false gods themselves granted him the gift of their love. Your father told me that there was nothing he could do to make that detestable nobleman marry me, but he would never abandon me and baby Gloria, and if I agreed, he would take me into his own home. Tears are running down Mother's cheeks. And I knew it, my son. I knew how much his honor and reputation would suffer, but its caring for me brought him back to life. It's like he experienced another sacrament. That's not a good thing. He rediscovered his noble purpose, his lot to rule and protect and care for others. But his decision to marry me, he is still paying for it today. Your father had the courage to defy your grandfather, the founder of his bloodline. If only you knew how much he had to endure, my son. If only you knew the despicable rumors we heard about the Brantes all over Azanote and Izote. It was only thanks to the efforts of Sir Gregor that the Brante bloodline managed to hang on to what little remained of its reputation. And now the noble families have all but forgotten about that scandal, thank the false gods. Mother falls silent. She looks at you intently. Do you understand what she is telling you? Not even a little. My son, I'm not telling you this to share the pain of my past. I have no reason to complain. Even Sir Gregor has accepted me through gritted teeth. But you need to understand the heavy burden our family must bear, including our scandalous marriage and Gloria's foul origin. And Gloria, she can never be a Brante. Even if the other Brantes agree, the news would stir up the old scandal in the minds of high society. And if that were to happen, Powerlines, they would see even your birth as illegitimate. Mother sighs heavily. We really got to tag team with Nathan on this, man. What I told you just now is something you have to know, son. You're about to enter adult life. By my lot, I must be humble. I cannot tell you how to treat your family. But may I ask you a question? Now that you know all this, do you still see Gloria as your sister? Well, yeah? Why? Distance yourself from Gloria. Nobility +1, -1 with mom and sister. That's if we were caring about being a noble. Evade the question. Are we just gonna eat the willpower just to spite mom? Except Gloria's her sister. Yeah, I mean, we like Gloria in this house. She's fine. I mean, part of me is tempted to do this just for shits and giggles and spite mom because she annoys me, honestly. But yeah, we'll accept Gloria. We don't have a reason not to. Because we're gonna guillotine the system anyways. Also, I'm disappointed it isn't our shadow. Filled with determination, you assure Mother that Gloria is and will always be your sister. You want Gloria to be a Brante too. You want her to be a part of your family. Who cares what the nobles of Anazote say? Because they're all gonna die at the guillotine anyways. Mother beams with quiet joy when she hears this. Oh, Powerlines, if only you knew how happy that would make me to have our family united at the last. However, the joy on her face quickly gives way to concern. But I already owe good Sir Robert a debt I can never repay. He's given my daughter so much. A home and education, his care and advice. The Brante bloodline could suffer so much from Gloria's existence. We should all just learn to accept her status as it is. Mom, you suck. Just then, you hear Gloria carefully knock at the door of Mother's chambers. I thought we were on the porch. I thought we were outside. Ma! I couldn't find you. You happily greet your sister. Yes, she is your sister. No old secrets can ever change that. Mother gives you and Gloria a kiss on the forehead and returns to her prayers to the false gods. You and your sister walk downstairs together. Mother's alone by her bedside now, thanking the false gods with a quiet prayer for the Brante family they have given her. You hope the false gods can hear her. Alright. We call this in the business foreshadowing. Yeah. The Flash and the Flame. You are 13 now. Another theology lesson. Today's sermon is about the priests and why the clergy is the only one of the 3 estates. Hold on, I need a cough drop. With the right to interpret the lots and guide the other 2 estates accordingly. Tommy sits next to you, huffing and puffing as he firmly writes down the teacher's, every word. But you've heard all of this from Mother many times before. She'd take this moment to daydream a little. Father promised to take you to the capital once your studies are complete. Was that a threat? Did Dad threaten us Did he threaten us to go to the capital? Did he threaten us with college? But the teacher suddenly casts a stern look at the lecture hall and raises his voice at one of her classmates. A boy by the name of Brian jumps out of his seat. The teacher asks him to repeat what he had just said. Brian freezes and seems to shrink. He tries to muster a reply, but nothing comes out. The class becomes agitated. Someone is about to get punished. The teacher now looms over Brian. The boy's cheeks are flushed, and his eyes are covered in tears. You all watch the teacher's iron-bound book as he raises it sharply, about to strike. Brian shrieks and raises a hand in front of him. A sudden flash! The teacher screams and buries his face in his arms. His hair is ablaze, and his skin is covered in horrible burns. What the fuck? It's magic! Real magic, just like in the books about the Magma Rebellion. The class freezes in shock. There's a dull thud as the iron-bound book falls to the floor. What the fuck? Brian's hysterical laughter rends the silence. He stands up from his bench, fire in his eyes and sparks on his fingertips. There are screams now. Students run for the door. The teacher tries to extinguish his burning hair. Brian snaps his finger, and the book of Ezechiel on the desk turns into the pillars of flame. He laughs and raises his arms, and the curtains catch fire. Okay. The screams grow louder as the fire howls. Brian's face is tense and violent. His mouth is spewing flames, and his whole body is shaking with laughter. He steps toward the door. You and Thomas glance at each other. He's gonna burn the whole school down! Yo, fuck that. Our parents paid for a good month. Look, our family's paid good money for the school. He can burn it down when we're done with it. Your friend's determination makes you brave. You run behind Brian and knock him off his feet. You both tumble to the floor. Even through his clothes, his body sears your flesh. Are we gonna die again? Are we about to have our third death? Brian screams, convulses, and grabs Thomas by the shoulders with his burning hands. Thomas howls but stays put, knocks Brian senseless with several fierce blows to the head. There are servants fussing around the room now. They put out the fire and take away the teacher, his body covered in horrible burns. You and Thomas remain next to Brian, who is lying on the floor, silent. Soon 3 men in black cloaks enter the doors of the school, each bearing an edict sealed with silver, the Inquisition. You and Thomas are told to step away from the witch. They lock Brian's neck in a silver collar and take him away. One of the Inquisitors remains behind to tell the students what happened. That was magic, he explains, the ungodly power that twists the minds of men into savage instruments of murder. Only the sacred shackles of silver can hold it at bay. Only the power of the twins can save us all from its evil grasp. The next day, you are forbidden from ever mentioning Brian's name again. He is no more. Okay. We got bro points. Free bro points, okay. A great day looms ahead. 100 years ago, Uther, Tempest was anointed to rule over the empire. Blessed by the twins themselves. The emperor's reign continues into its 2nd century. Celebrations in honor of the Tempest dynasty are held throughout the city, and the school is closed for 2 weeks. Damn, that's a hell of a break. Also, hold on, map. We're an island. Okay, the empire is just an island. Kind of a shitty empire, isn't it? Tommy would die for us. Yeah, I mean, We do have a lot of willpower, so we can make stuff happen. So, on one of these evenings, oh wait, it just clicked. Thomas is 3 extra deaths for us that we don't have to take. Tommy can take 3 deaths for the team. Hell yeah. On one of these evenings, Father tells everyone that Grandfather is going to bring Stefan back home for the holiday. They say families should celebrate the day of anointment together. You could benefit from your elder brother's company. With his noble education, Stefan might be able to teach you how noblemen are supposed to act. Soon, Stefan arrives. How he handles himself differently. When it comes to ordering service around and ignoring Gloria, he is still Grandfather's double, but he is more grown up now and far less haughty to you. That's nice. It is a dark winter evening. A damp, cold wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands of Magra. You and Stefan are sitting in the library. He is telling you all about Eterna, the capital of the Empire. It is full of so many wonders. The Imperial Palace, the enormous Temple of the Twins, the Military Academy, and the Imperial College. He has read so much about these places that he has seen them firsthand. Nathan enters the library. He looks concerned. I can't find Gloria. I looked everywhere. She's not in the attic, not in the sitting room, not in the kitchen. I heard she wanted to sneak off to the ruins of Char the Colony Dropper's palace. She could be lost in there. You and Stefan exchange looks. Char Milanadis, the rebellious duke. The ruins of his palace are a dangerous place. Some children claim his tainted magic still lingers there, which means you absolutely have to make your way there and back again to prove you are not afraid of the long-dead witch. Your brother tells you to wait. He leaves and soon returns with his sword and... Hey! Stefan is kind of stepping up, isn't he? Okay. Stefan's stock is rising. Get ready, Power Lions. We're going to rescue Gloria. She must have gone to the ruins in search of inspiration for another one of her little rhymes. Yo, Stefan's kind of growing up. He went from like 0 to hero. Like last year he was ordering her around, now he's cool. The two of you instruct Nathan to tell your parents you've gone for a walk in the square. You and her elder brother head outside. You are confused by Stefan's actions. He refuses to treat Gloria like a human being, so why is he still so determined to rescue her? Stefan notices your expression. Are you wondering why I care about Gloria all of a sudden? I can't act in any other way, can I? The law of honor compels me to protect my family. Gloria would never be a Brante, but Father still took her into our house. I must respect his seniority and defend Gloria like she is one of her own. You are Brante too, noble or not, which means it is your duty to aid me. Fair enough. I respect it. The ruins of Char the Colony Dropper's palace span an entire district. The palace was abandoned centuries ago, and its remnants are overgrown with a thick underbrush. The ruined palace is empty, nothing but cold wind blowing over crumbling brickwork. Even the worst scum of the land steer clear of this place. She's our property. Yeah, true. You make your way through the ruins until you spot scattered sheets of paper covered in writing. Your sister's writing. You hear loud laughter coming from behind a dilapidated stone wall nearby. You pull yourself up to peer over it. Gloria is lying on the ground face down, twitching and sobbing. A gaggle of drunk young thugs around her, cackling and swinging their arms about. You hear their shouts. Look at the lass sitting here rhyming words together. She thinks she's all noble. Don't you worry, you low-bone tart. We're gonna teach you your place. One of the last spits at Gloria as she lies there. Get away from her this instant, you bastards, or I'll spill your guts. They respond with mocking laughter. Stefan draws his sword. The street thugs recoil in fear, but they soon notice he is the only one armed against many. They start reaching for sticks and stones to break his bones. Stay by my side. Don't let them flank me. Alright. Stefan's hands shake, but he looks ready for battle. He is outnumbered. For a moment, you hesitate. Perhaps it might be better to run to the nearby district and call for guards. The young thugs are already armed with makeshift weapons. They have started approaching you and Stefan cautiously. Ooh. That's big Stefan points. I'm thinking this, because we need to burn some willpower so we're not wasting it. Call the guards. Is that... Why does it list stuff on there if it doesn't give us a change? Yeah, we gotta follow the orders to... This is more we gotta burn willpower so we keep getting it back. Also, he's growing up. I respect it. Stefan's firm voice fills you with confidence. You follow your noble brother's orders. It takes a moment to grab a stick, and then you are at Stefan's back, angrily swinging at the louse as they try to bring him down. One of the louse lunges at your brother with a stone, but you hit him with the stick, and he falls down right at Stefan's feet. His sword flashes, the blade sinks deep into the young man's stomach. He wheezes, blood starts pouring onto the ground. The thugs freeze. Stefan pulls the sword out, his face an inscrutable mask, and returns to his fighting stance. You are stunned to see Stefan take another man's life so easily and effortlessly, like picking his own teeth. Oh, this is probably a death if we just charged, wasn't it? The thugs look like they are about to flee. There is rage and confusion on their faces. They never expected the young nobleman to use that sword. Stefan just scoffs at them. Lowborn scum, that's all you are. This is the only language you understand. Good job, brother. Gloria, get up. We're going home. He turns to glance at your sister, giving the enraged thugs just enough time to rush you. You get separated from Stefan. Your back is against the wall now. They hit you hard, in the stomach, in the face, and the side of the head, then your mind slips away. When the darkness disperses, you find yourself lying in your bed. Stefan is in the armchair next to you reading a book. He is alive, with left arm in a sling and a black eye, but still alive. Your head is spinning, and you feel nauseous. You try your best to sit up. Stefan looks up from his book. Don't try to get up. You lost a lot of blood. I suppose that was a few thugs too many for a single warrior, even with good backup. Yeah, we're on the steam, Stefan. I'm impressed. We fought like an army. The noble orders, the commoner obeys, all according to our lots. We defended the family's honor together. You know, brother, the nobleman's lot is also a great burden that few are able to bear. It takes courage, not to fight everything you see, but to do your duty. Each and every decision a nobleman makes becomes a part of his family's legacy, flowing in the blood tide forever. What's the blood tide? I think about it often. A noble mustn't act weak. A noble mustn't suffer like people of the lowborn lot. A noble must rule over them wisely. A noble must ensure that they have work to do. It's not merely your own lot that you have to look after. You have to ensure that 1,000 others can live by their lots as well. And there's so many more matters to take care of. Honor, dignity, tradition. It's tough, but it's what it takes to be a nobleman. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You know what? I don't like the system, but he's speaking a lot of sense, isn't he? There's approval in your brother's eyes for the first time in a long while. It was a pleasure to fight by your side, brother. Oh. Our status is still as usual? I don't know. Yeah, we're Ani. We're honorable now. Yay. We're not noble yet, but we're honorable. Trial of the assailants. Before long, the entire city hears how a gang of lowborn thugs assaulted Stefan Brante. Grandfather ensures that the brash young men are found. Some of them are taken into custody as soon as Lesser Deaths releases them. Grandfather seeks vengeance on those who hurt his favorite grandson. Prefecto Borni, a friend of your family, promises to personally oversee the trial and ensure that justice is served. Yay! Nepotism! Yay! Stefan and Grandfather decide to stay in Anizote until the trial ends. Grandfather demands true death for every single assailant. You ask Father to explain something. How can a legal court sentence criminals to true death? How can a worldly judgment overrule the twins' law? That's a good question, actually. Your words are true, my son. Their law is second to none. Yet the twin gods also made the empire in all its ways. The court of law exists to execute the laws of heaven here in the world. Should the court of law sentence a person to death, the law high above will always enforce it. And so every execution brings true death. The commoners who assaulted Stefan, a low-born noblemen have committed a grave offense. There is no doubt about that. And yet, according to the Emperor's decree, even commoners have the right to defend themselves when they're about to face true death. This means that all of us will have to appear at the trial and testify before the courts. Evening comes. Gloria visits her room. She looks crestfallen, her fingers keep reaching for her long hair. You put away your school books and ask what is bothering her. The trial is tomorrow. Yeah. I thought I was going to appear there too, as an eyewitness, after all this whole mess started because of me. But Sir Robert isn't even going to mention that I was there. Can you imagine? He says it would ruin the case. Huh? Why? Why am I always in the way? Nobody ever mentions me. Nobody has to listen to me. It's like I don't even exist. I thought Stefan standing up for me finally meant something. Maybe I'll become part of the family. Now everything is back to usual now. Gloria tries her best to hold back the tears. You do your best to comfort her, but we're just not Nathan. Father just needs to keep the family out of trouble. If Sir Robert believes that I only bring trouble, why did he took me into the house at all? Gloria runs away. You return to your books, but you can't help but get lost in thought. What if they told the court you weren't there either? How would you feel then? There's a knock at the door. It is Father. He closes the door behind him and sits next to you. There's an exhausted look about him. Son, you'll be testifying before the court tomorrow. Please remember what I'm about to tell you. Gloria wasn't at the ruins at all. You went there with her brother to inspect this historic site. The lowborn men insulted Stefan first and then attacked him. Stefan had managed to deal with the assailants on his own by the time the guards intervened. Gloria will cast suspicion on the case. If we mention her very existence to the court, the reputation of the family will suffer. Your grandfather would never forgive me if that happens. Do not let me down. We're all counting on you. I don't like it, but we're going to play along, mostly because we've played a wrong to protect Dad before. I like Dad. Even if he's spineless, I like Dad. He's a good man stuck in a shitty situation. You recall the night of the fight like it was a moment ago. Gloria sprawled under the feet of those cackling thugs. Her poetry, her greatest treasure, scattered, I must have shattered, scattered on the ground. She thinks she's noble. Those were the words they spat down at her. But doesn't grandfather mean the same thing when he denies that she is a part of the family? Both things can be true. But if you do what Father tells you, the trial will end quickly. Those commoners will face true death for assaulting a noble. If you mention Gloria, things will get complicated, and you cannot predict how the trial will end. Which is more important to you? What is right, or what is just? Support Dad. We lose a Gloria point, but we gain a Dad point. We lose unity, which I think will put us into argument territory, but we gain reputation. Lie to Father. You agree with Father now, but you will tell the truth later. Huh. That seems like a huge L, though. We're losing a lot of relationship points just for one Gloria point. I mean, it is another ingenuity point, which is good, but convince Dad to change his mind. This costs 5 willpower. You are determined to change Father's opinion and make sure Gloria gets the fair treatment she deserves. Ooh, but that's both nobility and spirituality. And plus family unity, which will move us away from a break point. And Granddad will hate us, but he already hates us. So fuck Granddad, honestly. He gets the guillotine. He's family, but family gets the guillotine. I'm thinking this, because that's a lot of stat bonuses. Yeah, I want ingenuity, but there hasn't been a lot of good options to take it. Right now, I'm thinking convince Dad to change his mind. That'll also put us in a position so the next time there's a plus 10 willpower, we won't be wasting any. Because that will be at 20. So we'll go straight to 30 instead of losing out from going 25 to 30 with a +10. You look father straight in the eye and tell him what you think. You are not going to bear false witness in court. He is a judge himself. How can he make you lie to Sir Elborny? And what of Gloria? Is she not a Brante too? Does she not deserve justice? Or maybe grandfather is right and she is just a freeloader who deserves nothing but shame? If so, then how come father agreed to take her into his home and under his protection? Saying this to father is tough. Deep inside, you pray he hears no weakness in your voice and sees no blood rushing to your cheeks. But it seems he is listening to you intently. The wrinkles on his forehead grow deeper as his fingers stammer out a staccato against the armrest. This is going to be tough, son. But you're right. You are right. I took Gloria into my home, and so I must protect her like my own daughter. This was my decision, and I must stand by it. I will speak with Stefan in the morning. Now I pray your grandfather never hears of my change of heart. He's gonna hear about it at court, right? The day comes. The trial takes place in the lesser hall of the city prefecture. So, Sir Elborny himself presides as the judge. You are the first to testify to the court. You tell the court the truth about that night. How the thugs humiliated Gloria. How Stefan, you came to help her. And how Stefan defended his half-sister. Out of the corner of your eye, you watch grandfather's face grow red. Yet he remains silent. There are confused whispers in the hall. The commoners on trial cry out. It's the truth! Gloria was reciting poetry, and they simply told her she was defying her lot. The situation has changed. By this account, Stefan was not acting in defense of himself or another. He merely assaulted them first in order to retaliate against those who had insulted his half-sister. You spread your feet to stand firm and inhale before you speak next. You ask the hall, is it not a nobleman's duty to honor his family name? Gloria does not have the Brante name, but your father took her into his home. Therefore, it was Stefan's duty to protect her, as he would have protected any of you. The contemptuous chuckles rushed the courtroom. You have just reminded the city of father's shameful second marriage. Stefan is to testify next. He reluctantly confirms your testimony, glancing at father and grandfather all the while. His arm in the sling is his main argument. Stefan wanted the commoners to stop insulting Gloria, yet in the end, the commoners were the first to assault him. After a short recess, Sir Elborny returns and rises to deliver his sentence. The court of Vanazote finds you guilty of assaulting Stefan Elbrante, a nobleman who stood in defense of the honor of Gloria, a member of his household. All four defendants are sentenced to true death by hanging. There is no wind, but you feel a gust sweep through the hall. The defendants turn pale. Their mothers are bawling and crying. Everybody in the court feels the dreadful power of the law. It is stern and just. That very power has been invoked by this sentence. And by that very sentence, the lives of the four young men are literally forfeit for all eternity. The gallows awaits. Stefan stands in the front row. Father stands next to him. The wood creaks. The trapdoors open under the young men's feet. They dangle in the air, wheezing and reaching out for support with their feet in their final moments. Grandfather's silence ends at home. He screams at you and father, at Stefan and Gloria. This trial is a disgrace. His screams are punctuated by the thudding of his walking stick against the floor. Father says they had to defend their family. It would have been truly a disgrace if they had shirked their responsibilities. Stefan excuses himself to bandage his arm in order to stay out of the argument. Gloria is quiet, but glowing. You stay quiet too. It is all over now. I think Stefan can be swayed to... Wait. I just had an intrusive thought. Stefan and Gloria could marry. Because they're not related by blood. Huh. Also, yeah, grandfather isn't noble, he's just insecure and tyrannical. Look. Grandfather killed us the day we met him. The fuck do we care that he has distaste for us? It's all over now. Nobody bullies Gloria on the streets anymore. Those 4 commoners are dead forever. Their families were taught a cruel lesson, so it'll be with anyone who dares to raise a hand against a nobleman. We lost a little honor. It's okay. Ooh, wait, we're almost at a good break point. We just need 1 more for peace. Gloria's our future wife. I don't know, I kind of want a matchmaker with Stefan now. I feel like that'd be a good way to make Stefan not be a shithead. Ooh, we were almost at 2 breakpoints for this as well. Okay. What's our theology at? Theology is... Oh, it was those 2, and it's ingenuity that's stuck down there, because I haven't had many opportunities for that. Yeah. That was a solid W. Age 14. That was a busy year. A lot of shit happened at age 13, huh? Agony. Stefan leaves soon after the trial, alone. Grandfather does not go with him. For the first time in a long while, he lingers in the house for more than a fortnight. Father says Sir Gregor is ill and needs rest. Several months go by, and it becomes clear that Grandfather will not recover. The eldest Brante is mostly bedridden now. On some days, he has trouble recognizing people. When he means to address you or Nathan, he calls you Robert, your father's name. But when he does get out of bed, the house grows empty. The servants hide. Mother locks herself in her chambers. You and Nathan run outside or hide quietly in your rooms. If Grandfather sees anyone in the hallway, he begins lamenting. Oh, nobody heeds the lots any longer. Any harlot with a child can marry a nobleman these days. Children have no respect. His son betrayed him and let him down. And oh, how the Brante family has lost its honor. God, what a blowhard. Again and again, you hear Grandfather knocking at Mother's door, screaming that it is all her all her fault. He blames her for ruining his chances to find bliss in the hereafter. He blames her for dooming him to suffer at the foot of the pillar. You overhear your parents talking one night. Mother begs Father to move Sir Gregor to his old home and spare the children his decline. Father refuses her outright. It is late at night. The hot and dry... Oh my god. I don't think Granddad's doing okay. It is late at night. The hot, dry winds are coming. The house is empty save for you. Nathan, Gloria, Mother, and Grandfather in his bed. Father has left for the capital on business. You are engrossed in the history of the Empire, snapping out of your reverie only when the clock strikes midnight. You blow out the candle and get ready for bed. You hear the shuffling of heavy feet outside your door. You see light in the hallway. Grandfather, what could he want in the middle of the night? You peek into the hallway once he has passed. Grandfather's figure sways as he heads for the door to Mother's chambers. He opens the door and walks in. You hear him say something quietly. Your unease is stronger than your fear now. You sneak closer to hear his words. You foul commoner! I have to cleanse my sins. I have to save my soul. You are my greatest sin. You and what you have done to Robert and his family. I should have put a stop to this marriage. I should have stopped Robert from taking this house by your presence. Why didn't I do it? Please, Sir Brante, I beg of you. Silence! You will do my bidding. Fire will cleanse all lowborn filth from this place. Fire, and flame will free Robert from this disgrace. This is for my son's sake. For my son's sake, for my sake. I need to eradicate this lowborn filth. The twins! They are calling for me now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I beg of you, please have mercy. Mother begins to cry. You run into the room, unable to stay out of this any longer. Grandfather's gaunt figure looms over Mother's bed, a lit oil lamp in his hand. Mother is brought out on the bed, crying. Please, just let me warn the children, I beg of you, Sir Brante. I think he's not just gonna kill us this time, I think he's gonna kill us all. Your steps are loud enough to be heard. Grandfather turns to look at you. What are you gonna do, kill me again? Stay out of this, Paralines. Be useful for once. Worldly matters concern me no longer. I see only my sins now, and a sinner I am. A sinner! The twins, they forgive no one. They will judge me by the pillar. I must do something. I don't want to suffer for all eternity. Go away! Mother is crying. Grandfather still looming over the bed, driven to madness. His hand shakes as it clutches the oil lamp. His eyes shine in the dark. He truly believes this has to be done. You are suddenly torn. What if he is right? What if that is the only way for his soul to find salvation? There is no going back now. You have but a moment to act. Ooh. Minus wealth. Ooh. Gregor True Death. These are all true death for Gregor. Wait, hold on. I'm confused here. We get plus Gregor points, but Gregor also gets a true death. What the fuck? Wait, we also get another death? Are we gonna get a third death? That's funny though. Stop grandfather. Ooh, that's an ingenuity. So it's nobility or spirituality. Oh, but we don't lose wealth this way. This was your first death. Did you let it happen? We're gonna stop him, but this is honestly tempting for how funny it is, because this will be our third death. That is a +1 to all the stats, though. That is nice. I'm not gonna lie. But we'll go with this. We'll stop grandfather. We can take the hit on the willpower. It's only a -5. And who gives a shit about -1 Gregory points when he's about to die? You look at grandfather defiantly and step towards him. He stares you down with rage and throws the oil lamp at the floor. You manage to catch it, but just barely. Several drops of hot oil hit the rug, not nearly enough to start a fire. Nah, don't tell me, because I'm probably going to replay this game a lot off stream to see all the other routes, because this is awesome. The lamp's glass is blistering hot. It burns your hands, but you still hold on to it safely. You can say what happens in the chat, I just won't read it. If you want to answer Ace there. You low-born scum! You ruined everything! You're every bit like your mother, you! Enraged, he takes a swing, and you squeeze your eyes shut. But he doesn't hit you. Instead, there's a deep exhalation. You peek at him with one eye, just in time to see him collapse, all his strength fading away. His chest is heaving, his face a grimace of contempt. Another heavy exhalation. The contempt is gone. There's only fear now. Grandfather's eyes open wide. Almost in surprise, he exhales. Does he... I'm guessing if he likes you when you don't make him... If you don't stop him or something, and you let it happen, he'll, like, acknowledge you as a noble or something, or as his grandson. His eyes grow dim. Mother's there, whispering a prayer. She is shaking violently. You put the oil lamp gently on the bedside table and call for the servants. They carry the body away. It does not disappear. True death has found him. He will never return. You spend the rest of the night with Mother in the sitting room. She will not let go of your hand. For many nights afterward, she keeps seeing Grandfather's shadow out of the corner of her eye. Father returns from Eterna the morning after. He is unusually composed as he arranges for the funeral. The house becomes quiet, not the looming, heavy sort of quiet the past few months, but the calm relief you all feel now that the crazed old man is no more. At last, Gregor Brante, the family's patriarch, has departed for the hereafter. Psst, okay. Yeah, good riddance. That was a W. That was a solid W. Their grandfather saw Gregor Brante left this world forever to meet the false gods. Last respects. The night of grandfather's death shook your family to the core. Yet no matter how it happened, your grandfather, Gregor Brante, is dead and will never return. He was a fearful shadow looming over the rest of the family, the Brante patriarch exerting his influence on all the lives below him, and all of you will remember him forever. Father is the new patriarch of the family now, yet he still cannot bring himself to sit at the head of the table where Sir Gregor used to preside. Stefan locks himself away in grandfather's bedroom every day. He will not talk to anyone. Gloria and Nathan still jump on every sound that so much resembles the knocking of his walking stick. Mother spends all day in prayer at the temple. And yet the house has become calm and quiet with his passing. There is one more thing that must be done, the final farewell. It weighs heavily upon your soul. The day comes to pay your final respects. Father goes to the tomb alone, save for Stefan, Nathan, and you. Mother and Gloria stay at home. Only nobles, or those who may become nobles, may join this ritual. There is a solemn silence as you walk to the crypt. Father is the one who breaks the silence when you finally reach the door of the family crypt. So, I mean, it's basically our second bedroom at this point. Why can't we go in? We've already been there twice. Your grandfather built this crypt, and now he will be the first Brante to remain here in body forever. The first ever noble in our family. It is now our duty to hold the sacrament of flowing blood for Sir Gregor. We will honor his legacy and join him as the founder of the noble Brant dynasty. Stefan perks up at father's words. His hands still clutch grandfather's sword. Tradition decrees that it must remain in the niche above the owner's sarcophagi. Nathan, on the other hand, looks even more frightened now. Stairs carved... What have we scared of? We've been here before. We've been here twice. Stairs carved of white stone lead you downward. Deep in the gloom of the crypt, atop the pedestal, you see the sarcophagus that holds grandfather's body. Father takes a moment to compose himself before paying his final respects. Gregor Brante, my father, brought our family into nobility through his unshakable will. He was a judge and a loyal servant to the empire. He lived his life as if he had been born a noble, and he never strayed from the path he had chosen. He sought to make the Brante family ennobled by the sword, so that our children's children might be of noble birth. The twins know I abided by my father's words all my life, even if I could not obey him every time. Father lets out a bitter chuckle as he says this. Stefan glares at Father, then turns to glare at Nathan and you. After all, the two of you were born of Father's shameful decision to marry a commoner. All of you remember his disastrous passing. He did not die the true death he deserved. Yet we all must know that he fought for the future he believed in, to the very end, and he would be proud to see his family bid him farewell for the sacrament of the nobility. I don't think so. I don't think so, man. Stefan still glares at Father sullenly. His fingers remain clutched around grandfather's sword. Nathan barely pays attention to the words. He looks around with unease, his arms folded across his chest. Father reaches into his jacket and pulls out a slender dagger, thin and sharp. He takes off his gloves. Watch me carefully, my sons. Make a small cut on the palm of your hand and let your blood flow into this duct on the wall of the crypt. It will join your grandfather's blood here and flow forever. Then ancestor and progeny will become as one. We shall enter our family's blood tide and receive grandfather's final blessing. For his blood flows first in our blood tide. He will respond to you. You are a part of him, and he is a part of you. Oh, wait. Maybe we needed some granddad points after all. With a quick motion, Father slices his hand and holds the bleeding cut above a small opening in the wall. Then he hands a dagger to Stefan. Stefan cuts his hand without hesitation and does as Father did. You receive the dagger next. The dagger's handle feels warm. You hesitate for a moment as you look at the palm of your hand. If you participate in this ritual, you will enter the Brante blood tide. You, a low-born child, a child who is still a commoner. Are you ready to claim your legacy as descendant of the nobleman Gregor Brante? eyes of your father and brother are upon you. Nathan, the youngest brother, will follow your example. You can be certain of this. Oh, why are these locked? Not enough nobility. Also, not enough granddad points. Oh, yeah, there was a noble sacrament earlier. I see. I see. Give the dagger back. You know what? We have enough dad points. I'm fine taking that hit. And we'll get 5 willpower back, so I think that's a good choice here anyways. And I don't super care about being tied with granddad. I'm good. Pass. Pass. I'm good. Nah. You return the dagger to father and say you cannot participate in the ritual. You are a commoner, and your back bears the mark of the lash. Grandfather would never have you let you honor his name as a nobleman. Nathan nods in agreement. You don't deserve this honor. Father furrows his brow and shakes his head. Stefan, help me close the little sarcophagus. Remember to ask grandfather for his blessing. And as for you two, it seems you weren't ready to walk the nobleman's path after all. You're right, son. Your grandfather would never have allowed it. The lid of the sarcophagus falls into place with a heavy, resonant thud. Then suddenly, you all freeze as each of you hears your late grandfather speak to you. His voice is loud as it rings in the depths of the crypt, and yet he speaks to each of you separately. Foul blood weakling! You never had it in you to rise above your meager birth power lines. You have not a drop of nobility in you, and your pathetic little brother is the same. You are a taint upon my flesh and my blood. Be gone from my crypt. God, what a dick. Your legs carry out of the crypt of their own accord. If we die again, is Granddad gonna be here to haunt our ass? Arguably, this is our crypt more than it is Granddad's. Out of that stuffy crypt. You can finally breathe again. You hear slow footsteps behind you. You turn around to meet Nathan's gaze. You did the right thing. If it weren't for you, I'd have done what Father told us. Grandfather said I should stay away from his legacy. Said it'll do me no good if I try to follow in his footsteps. How's that for words of guidance, eh? Nathan sighs as he embraces you. Thanks, Nate. Father and Stefan leave the crypt much later and walk to the carriage without a word. You and Nathan humbly follow behind them. Fair enough. Alright, we're back at 20. Okay, that was worth it. Forbidden love. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Do we have 4? Or I thought we were at 3. Oh. Okay. But that will be it for tonight, because I accidentally did the thing I said I wasn't going to do. I stayed up way too late playing this game. It's 4 a.m. I gotta go sleep. I got work tomorrow, man. Okay, tomorrow at 1:40 a.m. Eastern, I am playing Repo, the new Lethal Company-like with Captain, Saki, and Jez, and maybe a few others. I think that game can do up to 6 people. But if you guys enjoyed this, go and like and subscribe to the channel for more good times. We're definitely going to continue this game. I don't know if it'll be this weekend. It'll probably be during the week next week. We'll continue Sir Brante. Because this weekend I wanted to continue Stories from Soul to Gundog. But I hope everyone has a fantastic end to your week. I will see everyone tomorrow at 1:40 a.m. Eastern for some Repo. For some looting and spooking. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend as well. See the Fang Gang next time. Take care, everyone.